Hey there, good morning. Welcome to Treecat Experience. Sometimes we call it Treecat Chat, sometimes we call it Treecat Tutorial. I think today I'm just having a Treecat experience because that's how we're doing it today. I hope everybody's doing well. Happy Saturday, and gosh, happy second week of August. We are well into summer now, and summer sadly is coming to an end soon, and I'm not really happy about it. I've been really enjoying the nice weather and the lack of rain and sleet and snow and all that fun stuff that we, inevitably get when we head into fall and we head into winter and Q4. Hold on a second. This is bothering me. I've got this light over here that's just like going rogue. And yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. So anyways, I wanted to talk today. I'm gonna let you know about a new feature that we have that is very forward looking and 3 steps ahead, because the topic today is how we're going to be 3 steps ahead. Because if you've been reselling for any length of time, you know that it's important to start thinking about fall, about Q4 now, if you haven't already. I mean, now it's almost like too late, right? So hopefully you have had the foresight to start thinking about what's about to happen, because what's about to happen is called fall and it's called Q4. And we all know you got back to school, right? You got Halloween, you got Thanksgiving, then comes Christmas, then comes New Year's, right? A lot happens in the span of like 4 months. A lot happens. And the good news is that your sales start picking up, which is amazing. And we love Q4 for that reason. But then you've also got like cold and flu season. You've also got like weird weather, like all the snow and the sleet and the power outages and the internet, issues last year. You may, if you've been following me for a year, you may remember that we had a bomb cyclone and lost power and internet connection for like over a week. Not fun. So, but here's the positive part of it. I'm feeling really good about some things I've been doing proactively this summer. And I'm feeling good about some things that Treecat's doing proactively to make your experience with cross-listing and automation and inventory management that much more reliable. And I think reliability is something that those of us in the cross-listing automation inventory management space don't talk about enough. We love to talk about all of our new whiz-bang features, right? We love to talk about all the cool stuff that we're developing, but do we ever really clue you in on and give you that insider perspective about what we're doing behind the scenes to make cross-listing and automation and inventory management more reliable? Because really, and maybe you're not aware of this, but one of the reasons we developed Treecat was because cross-listing we felt wasn't enough. And we needed to make sure that items were being taken down when they sold on your other platforms. When they sold on one platform, we would take them down. And actually accomplishing that in a reliable fashion is quite complicated and quite tricky. And so, well, let's just get into, before I go into all that and our brand new feature that addresses, a variety of failure conditions that happen every day that you don't know about. We know about them, but you don't know about them. Let's talk about the positives. Okay, so here's what I've been doing. So I've been reselling for quite a long time now. And I finally, after so many years, feel like I have a good handle on my physical inventory. So some of the things that I've been doing this summer are things that I've never done before. I did a physical inventory, y'all. Like, that is something that I should have done every year, every summer, and I never did it until now. So I went through every box and I checked that everything that was supposed to be in that box was in there. It was a lot of work, but let me tell you, it's worth it, because when you sell something and you can't find it, that's a big problem, right? So I did a physical inventory and I feel really good and really proactive about that. If you recall from last month, I cleaned up and I organized my space. And actually, by doing that, it's really nice to have a clean and organized space to work from. Honestly, it's like made a huge difference in my quality of life. But in doing that, I actually found a bunch of unlisted inventory, a bunch of boxes that were kind of hiding. And so now I have a bunch of inventory for fall that I've got a plan to list it now. So that's amazing. What else did I do? Yeah. Oh, so that's been kind of what I've been doing. And now I'm like, okay, it's time to start doing an audit of my supplies, my shipping supplies, because it's better to start ordering that stuff now than like October. Trust, because people, like I say, people start to pick up their buying. Right now, they're not buying as much because it's summer slowdown, but they're going to start, and they probably already have started buying. You know, you're going to see like an uptick in buying soon. And that means an uptick in supplies. Other people are buying their supplies for reselling, right? So I recommend getting on top of all of that. Do an audit of your supplies. And that includes not just like poly mailers and boxes and like, the cellophane inserts. I also ordered some new cards that the little cards that say, thank you for supporting my small business and give me 5 stars, those things. I ordered a bunch of more of those. And, the stickers for your printer, your heat printer, you order those rolls of stickers, bubble wrap. I mean, there's stuff that you're going to need when selling starts to pick up. And I just think we're in a situation now with all the tariffs and everything where you're going to have to be proactive because we don't know what the supply chains are like. And, things are still a little iffy, right? They're still a little iffy. So yeah. And what other things are we doing now? You probably know that I don't do as much like sourcing at the bins anymore. I used to, but now I do pallets and I have the inventory come to me and I kind of niche down. But when I was doing clothing sourcing at the bins, the summer and the late summer were those times where I started to get really intentional with my sourcing. So I'm sourcing like Christmas sweaters, like ugly Christmas sweaters were great to get in the summer. Boots, jackets, cozy pajamas, stuff that you start thinking about things that are giftable, right? So yeah, I mean, yeah, all these things add up. They make a difference, whether you realize it or not. Being proactive and thinking 3 steps ahead right now is actually really going to help you in Q4. Because like I said, there's so much that happens. There's so much, that starts to accelerate in the fall personally, right? With all the different, your kids going back to school, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, New Year's, all the holidays, right? So you start getting busy, more busy personally, and then you start getting more busy with your business as well, because business starts to pick up as well. And it's cold and flu season, and maybe you got a little bit more stress, and then you've got the weather. So, be proactive now, right? So let's talk about what I'm excited about with Treecat, that Treecat is doing to be proactive that you might not realize, because I don't think anybody talks about reliability and the steps that they take to make a crosslister / automation / inventory management program more reliable. So let's talk about failure. Well, let me just first of all tell you about this new feature. It's called confirm quantity. And what it does is when there's a quote unquote failure condition, it will then, well, let's back up. What is a failure condition? Okay, so you could lose your power. You could lose your internet connection. You could lose the connection to your marketplace, or the marketplace can break Treecat. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it. This happens all the time. None of the other cross-listing companies will admit it or talk about it, but I'm here to say I'm going to name it. And the reason I'm going to name it is because we put a lot of time, effort, engineering, thought, and development into thinking about those, edge cases, right? And how we respond to it. Because anybody can, well, not anybody, but there's a lot of smart people that can make cross-listing, inventory management, and automation programs. But when these failure conditions happen, how does the company respond? How are they addressing these failure conditions? So that's how confirm quantity came about. Like I said, last year we had a bomb cyclone. We lost power. We had customers that had natural disasters, freezes, cyclones, other natural disasters where they were unable to have power or connectivity, and they needed a way to, when they logged, one person even, I mentioned this before, had to go to the hospital and had emergency surgery. So we needed a way for our users to be able to get back up and running and get their inventory synced once they were able to connect again. And so, we thought a lot about these edge case scenarios and how we were going to address them. So, and this is part of the reliability piece that we're trying to really speak to. We're really wanting to be the cross-lister that has your back in terms of your reliability experience, so that when an edge case happens, we can quickly address it. So confirm quantity will auto run, essentially. If you ever lose power or you lose your internet connection and you're coming back to Treecat, confirm quantity is going to automatically run in the background and start syncing all of your data so that you can get caught up and get back to having your inventory managed properly. And that's the basic concept behind this new feature. If there's another scenario where, like, for example, I recently created a new eBay store. So now I have two eBay stores. I have my regular store and then I have my new little baby store. And when I created that new eBay store, I had to log off of eBay, right? And so then Treecat lost its connection to my eBay because I manually logged out so that I could then go and create this new baby account. Anyways, when I finished doing that and then I logged back in, I had a sale. And so then I needed a way to make sure that my inventory was syncing properly again. So with these two scenarios, you lose power, you lose internet, it's going to automatically start that process for you. Confirm quantity will automatically get you back and running. You don't have to do anything. But if it's like a weird edge case scenario, like what I experienced with logging off of my eBay and creating a new account and having that connection, because you have a lot of things that have to be in place, right? With Treecat, you have to make sure that your computer's not in sleep mode. If your computer goes into sleep mode, you're going to lose that 24/7 ability for it to take things down for you when it sells on one of your platforms. So you have to make sure that your agent is connected. You have to make sure that you have power, that you have intranet, right? So there's things that you need to make sure that you're doing, obviously. But the things that are out of our control, like when a marketplace makes a change that breaks the connection, that's out of our control. But how do we respond to it? When you go and make a disconnect to one of your marketplaces because you're maybe creating a second account or whatever, you need a way to respond to that. So in those two types of scenarios, it's not going to run automatically. It'll run automatically if you lose power or if you lose your internet connection, and then you get it back up. That'll run automatically, the confirmed quantity. But there are some weird edge case scenarios like what I just explained where you're going to run it yourself. So let me show you how to do that. I'm just going to go into Treecat here. And let's see. I'm going to go into the sales. So I'm going to go into my sales. And what I will notice is that there were some sales that took place when I was disconnected. So for example, I'm going to open this in a new tab. This sale took place. And then what you do is you run confirm quantity, which is right down here on the bottom. It's one of the blue buttons. It just says confirm quantity. You click on that, and then it'll tell you, okay, it's successfully initiated, right? And then what you do is you go to your events, and then your events will show you if the product exists. It's going to check it on all three platforms. That you're going to see that the product exists and is still active, and it shows you that it's still active. And so then you have peace of mind. Okay, so that sale the quantities are now, so actually this was a multi-quantity item. So there was initially, I had 2 of them. And then Treecat, when it sold Treecat, it basically, what the events were telling me was that it quantity handled it for me. So that means it relisted the second one. But then in addition to that, I ran the confirmed quantity, and it tells me, oh, right now your product exists and it's active. So I have peace of mind that that has been updated. So, I mean, if you have a smaller inventory, I suppose you could run this action from, like, do a batch of all of them, but it would take a long time. So what I'm recommending is just going to your sales and find the items that were, sold during the time when you were not connected to Treecat, and just run them one by one. I think that'll be quicker and easier. Because most of the time when you're disconnected from Treecat, in the weird edge case scenarios that I'm talking about, it's only for a few minutes, like maybe 30 minutes or something, or maybe an hour at the most. And so, yeah, I ran this one as well. And now it's telling me the product exists and is active, right? So anyways, I think, failure conditions are going to happen in Q4. It's just a thing that happens in Q4. We get busy. Personally, we get busy with our businesses. There's more stress, there's more illness, there's more natural disasters that we have no control over, right? That can, cause issues. And so I wanted to let you know that we have this. It's not a big feature, but I think it's worth talking about. I think it's worth talking about the fact that, we're paying attention to these edge case scenarios, and we're trying to make sure that we have a way to address them quickly. Now, in terms of the marketplace is making changes, like, for example, Mercari has been changing their ship options like every month on a monthly basis, which we then which breaks our connection to them, and then we have to respond to that. I think we could do a better job in communicating that to our users. And I've actually recommended to our development team that we have some kind of they were like, wow, we don't want to keep bugging people. If they knew how many times this stuff happened, they'd be annoyed by all the notifications. And we do notify our users about several things that we feel are important, but it was like, this would just be overkill. So I think what we're going to do, just to address any questions that people might have, like, why am I not able to list with Mercari today? I think it's important that we put some kind of a notification page or something that people can check to realize we are aware of what's going on. We are working on a fix, and here's our estimated time as to when we will fix it. So that's something that I have proposed, and my team has said, I think we can do something like that. And that makes me happy, because I know it makes you guys happy to know what's going on at all times. But just, at the end of the day, look, we are the cross-listing automation inventory management company that cares about reliability and that wants to address reliability issues ASAP. And so that's why we put, we put confirmed quantity into production, because we care about reliability. So if that's important to you, then you're in the right place and you're here with the right people. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say today, guys. This is short and sweet, and go enjoy the rest of your summer, because Q4 is coming soon. Go get proactive and stay 3 steps ahead at all times. And feel free to reach out to us with any questions or concerns. And if I've missed anything that is in the realm of being 3 steps ahead, feel free to put that down in the comments if I've missed it, because I'd like to hear about it. But other than that, guys, we'll see you next week on another Treecat Chat, and have a great day. Mahalo and cheers.